Hi, and welcome to another episode of The Juice. Right, so a lot of us have tried our hands at blogging, but how many of us have managed to make it into a multi-million naira business? Not a lot, right? Well, our special guest today is Linda Ikeji. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, all right, so we have so many different things to talk about. When I did say to people that I was going to be speaking to you today, I had lots of questions. People ask her how she managed to, do this with a blog and all that. So let's start from the beginning. Well, not the beginning, but you were a model.
Yes, I was. I was a model for 8 years.
Okay, what kind of model were you?
I was a fashion model and photography model. One of the top models in Nigeria from 1998 till 2006.
Okay. Why did you stop modeling?
I stopped modeling because I got too old.
How old? You're 30?
I'm 31 now. I was like 25 plus, going to 26, and I said to myself, there are a lot of 18-year-olds coming on the scene, 20-year-olds, and I was like, okay. And then I'd finished university, done my youth service, and I was like, we've been doing this for 8 years. Time to move on and leave it for the young people.
The very harsh world of modeling when at 24 you're old. 24, 25. Yeah. Okay. How did you discover blogging?
If you don't mind, actually called me on the phone one day and said, I read about you on the internet, some blog. It wasn't particularly a good story. It was just, something about my personal life. And so I said, send me the link, send me the link. She sent me the link, and it was Bella Niger. And I saw it. That was my first time. That was my first encounter with blog. And I read my story. Then I saw the comments. Then there were other stories, and I just loved it. I mean, I loved the concept. I enjoyed reading people's comments about me and other people, and then I started going to the blog every day.
Let's talk about your blog actually, because it started off in 2006. 2006.
It was created in November 2006.
Okay, and when did it get to the stage where basically things just kind of blew up? The traffic to your blog has just been incredible, and there is a particular organization that kind of monitors the traffic from websites in Nigeria, and you just kept moving higher and higher and higher and higher.
28, 29 now.
Well done.
Yeah,
congratulations. Congratulations. When did it sort of turn, from an ordinary blog into a money-making blog?
I started the blog in 2006, and I didn't start getting that many readers until March 2007. And so I ran the blog for like 4 years without making money. But in August 2010, somebody sent me a mail and said, can I have your advert rates? And I was like, what does that mean? What does it mean? So I had to call another friend of mine who was a blogger at the time, and I asked him, what's an advert rate? So the company asked you for an advert rate, how much your banners are, blah, blah, blah. Like, so I said that, so he sent me his own advert rate, and I saw what he wrote, 300,000 a month. I'm like, is this guy high? I didn't understand the concept. I was like, it's not possible. So I said, so my own was like 30,000 naira for like a year, because I didn't understand.
30,000 for a year?
because I started the blog out of passion. It was something that I never thought I could make money from. It wasn't something that I ever imagined would have ever happened. So when people started asking to pay me, it was, I felt guilty asking for like 300, 400 grand. I was asking for 30K, 10,000 naira until a company offered me, said, do this for us, and this is how much you're going to give it. That was in November. And I was like, oh, really? And then I found out that, Bella and other blogs were actually charging a lot of money. And then, I started charging too. So it was actually last year, 2011, that I started making serious money on the blog.
Well, how much are your rates now?
My rates now, I charge up to 600 grand a month.
600 grand a month, okay.
Some places on the blog is 600 grand.
What, the top banner thing?
And the page takeover is over $1 million a month.
Well done. So what happened? Because you said at a certain point, it was just you weren't getting so many numbers, and then all of a sudden your numbers just skyrocketed. So what happened at that
stage? A few things happened. What happened? A few controversial stories.
We're going to talk about that.
A few controversial stories. I think the controversial story started recently, really. But in those days, it was just, I started like the proper gossip blog.
So why did you actually decide to have the blog be about gossip? Because you did model, so why didn't you decide to?
It was
go
just my
into-
interest. It was just news, and people call it gossip, but I don't know. It's still gossip, but it was just news about people and that.
Okay, all right. So you did mention that your traffic kind of shot up, just skyrocketed after one or two controversial stories. In 2012 alone, you've had several. I don't know if I should say run-ins or you've had. Let me see. Most recently, RMD on his birthday.
Yeah, exactly.
You've had goodness me, Toke. So of all the different, let's say run-ins that you've had, which has been the worst? As in, which were you like, oh my goodness, I cannot, I'm really shocked about this?
One with RMD.
Okay.
I mean, RMD is someone that I truly, truly respect. Someone I really, really love. My favorite actor. So I was kind of surprised. I mean, I didn't write the post to be malicious or, I was wishing him a happy birthday, and I said, wishing him many beautiful years ahead and blah, blah. And then I remember that you built a house, and I just added that. I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to say.
It was going to be taken the wrong way.
I didn't it was going to be taken the wrong way. And so I was really, truly surprised when I saw all the, the remarks on Twitter. Anybody who reads the story was an innocent post. Because I always talk about people buying houses and buying
cars and everything.
Cars. I didn't know I was going to take it personal because it's in government or whatever.
Yeah. So because I did sort of read one or two articles about that, and I believe his main issue was the figure of how much the house cost or how much it was or something like that. And how do you get your stories?
Very reliable source.
A reliable source. Do they have do they show you invoices and everything?
No, they don't. But I mean, in the print media, and I have to trust somebody.
Okay. Oh, so you have one of those. A close source.
Oh yes,
with everything.
Source.
You did actually say that you don't let all the comments go through.
I don't.
Okay. So do you feel some sort of responsibility, like when you're when you put a story up and you're reading some of the comments and you're kind of thinking, oh, this is a bit malicious or this is a bit mean? Do you kind of feel like, as the owner of this blog, I probably shouldn't let this go because if the person reads this, they're going to be upset? Do you feel like a certain responsibility?
I feel like that all the time. I feel like that all the time. Sometimes I even ask my sisters when they're around me, do you think I should upload this comment? And they say, oh, go ahead or don't or whatever. But like I said, somebody said to me, you have to choose between your readers and the people you talk about. And what I say to the reason why I allow it is I tell myself, these are celebrities. They should by now get used to people talking trash about them. They shouldn't take these things personally because I've read all sort of things about me. I don't bother myself about it. But then everybody can be like me, and there are those who take it very personal. There are those who are very upset, who get very upset about it. So what I do really is I leave the back. Like if they write a story about someone and say, oh, she's fat or she's ugly or she's raz. All those things that I know that if they said about me, I won't care. About, I'll allow them through. But when they start saying stories, she sleeps around. Oh, this is the person she has dated. I'm mentioning getting very personal.
You don't let those.
No, I
don't let those.
I never allow those comments. And they come. Trust me, they come.
Yes. They come every few seconds. All right. So we talked about the bad things about your blog, the bad and the ugly. Let's talk about the good things. More recently, you did sort of write a few stories about Blessing. All right. So tell us about that.
I've actually read about Blessing on some other online, I think it was in Punch. I read about it, and she was 19-year-old girl who had been in Kirikiri for 4 years for allegedly buying a stolen phone, and I was...
and she hadn't been to trial or anything, or she was just...
I went to trial in Kirikiri. So after reading the story, I put it on my blog, and I said, I'm not just going to write about this, I'm going to do something about it. And so I got together with some other people, and we managed to get out of prison.
Oh,
yeah,
that's fantastic.
She was released. She's back in her hometown now.
Did you meet her? Did you actually meet her?
I met her several times.
Okay.
I met her several times. I went to Kirikiri to see her a few times. I went to court when she was. I got the lawyers to get her out, and she got out.
Okay, and that was very
one
recent.
Of the best days.
That was one of the best things about your blog. That was actually
best days of my life. Just getting out of there and then hugging her, and the relief, the happiness, the joy.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Well, that was actually sort of my next question. What's the best thing that you've done with your blog? That's probably Blessing, or do you have a story that will top that?
Well, Blessing, there's the OK one. OK called me on the phone. OK was the guy that I put on my blog. He needed money for a kidney transplant.
Right.
Fortunately for me, somebody, the Delta State Government House, reads my blog. She saw it and, told our governor about it. And the governor
they wired some money. Wow.
Immediately they called him. They called Oki and then flew him to India. And Oki called me on the phone and said, I'm going to India tomorrow. I just want to thank you. Thank you so much. Because they told me they saw it on your blog. Thank you so much, So, I mean, there are bad things about the blog, but there are some good things.
There's some good things as well. Okay, Linda, looking to the future, what are your plans for your blog?
For now, I'm doing the blogging 100% by myself. I don't have staff, I don't have contributors, just me. If I'm not available, there's nothing on the blog. I can upload comments, I can upload posts.
So if you're on holiday,
it will suffer, really. If I have a boyfriend, it will suffer.
Okay, well, you mentioned something there, your boyfriend, personal life. Can you actually reveal a lot of your personal life?
But I've stopped it a bit. Those were people who used to read my blog in 2008, 2009, read a lot about my personal life. But I've stopped it now because I can't. I mean, I have over 150,000 people every day. I can't, be sharing intimate details that much anymore. But I used to do that a lot.
Do you find that when, maybe when, guys meet you and you're like, I'm Linda Ikeji, they're like, oh, I can't really say anything to her because she put it on her blog. Do they get a bit intimidated by that, or has the success of your blog, has it affected your?
Not really, no, it hasn't. I mean, I think I'm getting a lot of more attention from men now, for whatever reason. Okay. It hasn't really,
Any celebrities?
No.
Okay.
No. No way. No.
Well, with the success of your blog, with the increase of traffic, have you thought about the fact that you'd be under scrutiny, the fact that people are going to say, okay, this comment or that story, that story. Yeah. So do you feel you're going to change the way maybe you write things in the future? Do you feel you're going to maybe allow less of the ugly comments?
In fact, recently I've been, deleting quite a number of really ugly comments. Like before, I used to put up a lot of those things, but now I had to tell myself that not everybody's like me. Like, I have a thick skin. I really don't care what anybody thinks, because I know myself, I love myself. I don't need anybody's opinion. Life is hard enough. I don't need to make it harder on myself by listening to what anybody thinks. But then I said to myself, not everybody thinks that way. There are people who take this as very, very personal. Well,
thank you very much for stopping by.
Thank you so
much. It has been very interesting, and I'm sure loads of people that will watch this will have loads more questions for you, and I'm sure they can visit your blog and leave their questions there.
Yeah, they can.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.